Hi, good morning. This is May here from CandoItBlog.com, and here live with our weekly Friday broadcast called Enjoy the Journey. And why is it called Enjoy the Journey? It's because sometimes when we do things like internet marketing or whatever it is, our goal, we lose sight of enjoying what we're doing and we just focus on the end result. And we live our lives in terms of end results instead of living our lives as we live them and enjoying that. And I had a realization of that with my business when I started doing this hangout and calling it this, because I realized that I was very success oriented, and if I didn't have success, I wasn't happy. And it's impossible to always have success when you're working towards something important, right? You're always going to hit failures, and you're going to hit success, and hit failures and success. So it's just the way it is. So if you get unhappy every time you hit a failure, and you have a lot of failures because you're shooting for a big goal, then you're going to be very unhappy most of the time. So I realized I had to make a change. So I changed my philosophy, and now I remind myself with this weekly webinar, and I also share value with people who want to learn about internet marketing or just being successful in whatever goals they have. A lot of what I do on these weekly hangouts are from books I've read, with exercises that radically change things in our lives so that we can become more successful. So I'm just going to put my name on the screen and also the name of the blog where you can go to get a replay of this as well as other Enjoy the Journey episodes. It's called CandoItBlog.com. And I just reversed myself. There it is, maydoldalao at CandoItBlog.com. You can go there to see a replay of this episode if you missed part of it, or if you want to see it again, because a lot of it is an exercise you do. And if you're serious about, becoming successful or changing things, you probably will want to do it again because you might miss something and you want to play again, or you want to work through the exercise for yourself on your own. Then you need to go back and do that. So I'm here in Hawaii, by the way. It's kind of a cloudy day, so it's a little darker. That's why I look kind of fuzzy, because it's not as bright as it usually is out here in the morning. And I come out here in the morning, do this hangout, and then I go to work. So that's why I do it always this time. And actually, I'm going to share my screen and talk to you a little bit about what it is that I've been working on, because this exercise I've been doing is by Dr. John Demartini, and it's from the Values Factor. And that book I started reading last year. Okay, there's a lot of exercises in it that are very transformative, and they changed my business completely. And I started this other activity because I read about it a while ago. It takes a while to do the activity, and what it is you release something you don't want. So instead of working on building a new habit, it's taking one that you already have and then kind of figuring out why you have that habit, and then replacing it with other better habits that you would rather have. And this can be any habit. It could be overeating, smoking, watching too much TV, whatever, any habit. And for me, I chose the habit of needing to work for someone else or having a job, right? I told you after this I go to a job because I'm still working. So I want to be able to release that job and not have to work anymore for a living, and actually instead want to be able to have my own business and my own household income fund me so that I don't have to work a job. That doesn't mean I won't work a job. You can actually learn some cool things at jobs. However, I don't want to have to work a job. I want to have more time flexibility. If I want to go on a trip, I can just go. If I want to take time off because I have guests here, like my brother's here, I could just, not work and just hang out with my brother and then work double hard next week. Choices. I could have more flexibility. Yeah, I realize some jobs are flexible like that. My job is not a very flexible job. The nice thing about it, though, is it's set. So I don't really work that many hours. Not like I know a lot of people work like 80 hours a week. I only work 40. So 40 hours a week usually. So anyway, I'll go through that because actually part of the exercise is to take that bad habit and talk about everything that's good about it that explains why you have it, right? If we have a bad habit, there's something about it that we like. Otherwise, we wouldn't have it. Anything in our life that we have, we wanted it in our life for whatever reason, right? If you, let's just say this, if you found someone you love and you married them, you're the one who chose to have them in your life, right? You married them, yeah? It's the same thing with your habits, you know? You choose your habits. You decided they were good for you for whatever reason. You know, maybe they make you feel good, or you know, whatever it is. Maybe they help you find new friends, or there's a lot of reasons, and that's part of the exercise. So let's just jump right in and finish up, because I've been working on it for a month. Literally, it's been a while. So what I'm going to do now is share my screen, and you should be seeing this Word document, and basically I'm going to go through the steps I've been doing and finish it up today. And it took me a number of months to do this. So if you haven't started, go ahead and start. And don't feel bad if it takes a while. And if you need someone to go through it with you, just go back to my replays, because the past like 3 episodes of these replays are all pretty much doing this, okay? So, and I'm very when I start something, so we will see if it has a good effect. First step is the easiest one. Pick the habit you want to release. So mine is having a job, needing a boss to work for some less money. Then, like I said before, you have to figure out what are the benefits of this bad habit. Now, in the beginning, you might not think of them, but you have to figure it out, because there are a lot of benefits. If this is a really strong bad habit, it means you have plenty of benefits. So list 150 of them and write them down. So I listed 150 of them. I'm going to skip this. I'm not going to show you too much of this, because you'll see in the next step, after you do this process of listing your benefits, you have to take for each benefit, you have to write 4 or 5 viable alternatives, okay? So it's the same thing. I copy pasted all the benefits, and then I just started writing underneath them, right? So here I said getting a steady paycheck gives you security of mind. That's the benefit of having a job, right? You get this nice paycheck, and then, you know, it's nice, you know, you have money coming in. And then I wrote some alternatives. Well, I could have dividends give me steady payouts. I do have dividends now that give me pretty steady payouts. Sometimes they change. However, in general, they're pretty steady. My own business can give me a steady paycheck. My business right now, the income is pretty steady. I would like to grow it. However, it is steady right now. My interest in investments give me a steady paycheck. My budgeting effectively will free up cash to move more savings to balance out when a business makes less money, so that I can still be steady with my paychecks. So basically that means that I can make a reserve of my business, so that even if business is slow, you know, and we have a bad month, we still pay ourselves with the reserve until we catch up in the following month. You know, just run my business more effectively, so that I actually can run a steady paycheck through it. Because every business, you know, has ups and downs in income, and yet if they can do a steady paycheck, it's because they've done things like that. So having a boss releases responsibility for me to my boss. You know, being a boss is an honor and a privilege. Being a boss will make me grow. Being a boss will create more income. So I'm writing alternatives to having a boss. I'm saying that I can be a boss, right? And that it's a great thing, and that I should take on that role instead of having a boss. I should become the boss. I can do another business instead of working hard to learn how to do it on my own. So that's saying that I can work at my job instead of having to learn how to work my own, because you have to learn a lot when you do your own business. You know, it's not like super easy. So if you just jumped on, by the way, what I'm doing is I'm going through the process of how to release a bad habit. Okay, so this is what I did. I wrote down 150 benefits, and then I put 4 to 5 alternatives for each of them. So as for this one, I can do another business instead of working on them. I said I can make money by investing wisely, right? That's an alternative to doing someone else's business. Investing wisely is also investing in other people's businesses. I could adopt a franchise model of business. I could just keep building it and fail until I succeed. Or I could learn to enjoy working hard on a business that has meaning to me, right? My job does have some meaning to me. It's not completely void of meaning. I work in a bank, and I help people. I service them with their needs, and you know, people have banking needs. Banks are important in people's lives, so it's not like I don't do anything important. However, I would rather be doing different things. Yeah. Okay. So I went through all that. That was really long, and that's what takes months to do, is this part where you take 150 of your benefits of your bad habit, whatever it is, and then you write 4 to 5 alternatives for each of those 150 benefits. So it takes a while to do this part. And like I said, if you just jumped on and you're a little confused about what I'm doing, just watch the replay. It's at candoitblog.com later on, and then it'll be more clear to you. And I also have other episodes there where I step through this whole process. Everything on here pretty much I did on one of those webinars. There's sometimes when I tackled it without, so I forget. However, most of it is on there, so you can follow the whole process step by step for yourself. Number 5, take the 5 most frequent and most viable alternatives with your highest values. Oh, and sorry, I skipped number 4. Number 4, we did number 3. It takes a while to do number 3. Number 4 is you have to identify your highest values. Now, there is a step-by-step process to do that. Basically, you have to figure out, where do you spend your money, where do you spend your time, what is your home situated like, describe it, where's the most organized spot in your home. And after you answer those questions, you can figure out what is most important to you, right? So most organized spots in my home, are like, my bed is pretty organized, and so my bed is my personal sleep, rest, relaxation, family time kind of thing, right? What else is really organized? The kitchen, so I value like health, cooking, so stuff like that. And what do you spend your money on? I spend my money on really good food, right? So that's health and fitness, and I spend my money repairing my bike. I spend money on sporting events. I spend money on my internet business and books and personal growth and learning, right? So you figure out what your highest values are. Some people, one of their highest values is maybe surfing, or maybe their highest value is just their children, or maybe it's being able to be a leader in whatever they're doing. Whatever their highest value is, you put it here, right? And some people, it's an image, to look good, to always look professional, be out there and look great. So whatever it is, figure out what your 3 highest values are, things that in your life are really important to you. So mine are personal growth and learning, my family, and health and fitness. So number 5, step 5 after step 4, is list the 5 most frequent and most valuable alternatives with your highest values. So take the 5 most frequent and valuable alternatives and then link them with your highest value. Okay, so one of my alternatives to working a job was to be paid by dividends. That was one of my alternatives. And it's funny because I did this exercise just last couple of weeks, right? And I've already brainstormed better ways to invest to get better dividends. Because of this exercise, it made me focus on these alternatives, because I realized I really do want to, have my own income, and then I realized I can do it. I just have to focus on it. And so doing this exercise really does make you start thinking and taking actions to make what you want happen. So being paid with dividends was one, paid by business income was another. And you put down at least 5 to 20 links for each. So I said, being paid with dividends frees up a couple more time that I can spend with my family, right? Being paid with dividends frees up more time to exercise, join races, spend more time cooking healthy food. So then I'm realizing, wow, that, being paid with dividends is great, yeah? Frees up more time where I can read more books, do more exercises like this one, and go to seminars and learn and grow. Yeah, right? I can put on better webinars, and all kinds of things I can do. Being paid with dividends. I'm going to cancel that. Okay. So to give me a more flexible schedule so that I can arrange for trips, vacations, and getaways with my family. Being paid with dividends will allow me flexibility so I can get on our team hangouts and get more involved with my 8-figure mastermind. We have a place called 8-figure mastermind group, and they teach us all these great skills. Right now we have an Instagram training class, all these amazing skills on how to market online and make a lot of money. And I don't necessarily go on in them because I'm so busy working my job and then being a mom and, if you work a job and you're a mom, you know it's not easy. You have a lot of stuff you have to do all day, and you don't have a lot of time to spend on something else. Okay, so basically I put down the different alternatives and wrote down, I linked it to my highest values. How is this alternative going to fuel my highest values, so that I make these alternatives more important to me, so that I actually make them a reality, and then I don't have to have my bad habit anymore. So get more involved with my internet marketing community. Okay, so the ones I did so far: paid by dividends, paid by business income, get involved with my internet marketing community. Okay, those are the ones I've done. That's it. I think that's it so far. Creating my own schedule. Become closer to my family. Okay, so I actually did a lot already. So let me just make sure if I finished it. So I need to list the 5 most frequent, most viable alternatives. Okay, so I did that. 1 is paid with dividends. 2 is paid by business income. Okay, so let's just make this bigger so I can make sure I finish my homework. So I'm doing this process as an experiment too, because I want to know if it works. And the worst that'll happen is that it doesn't. The best that'll happen is that it does, and that would be awesome, because I picked a pretty big habit for myself, So, I mean, I would, be ecstatic if I could release my job like sooner than later. Sorry. This year would be great. Create my own schedule. Okay, so that. Number 4. Yeah, so I did finish it pretty much. So if you're seeing this, you realize this process is not easy. It takes a while, and however, going through it makes you really think about your life and how I'm almost done. See, I did 3. I have to do at least 5. Okay. So the 5th viable alternative, instead of doing a job, is to be at home so that I can become closer to my family, right? Okay. So what are the benefits of spending time, basically spending more time with my family, and creating like a family mastermind? Instead of working outside of the family to get money, maybe I can work inside the family to get money, and also get to know my family more and stuff like that. So that was my 5th one. Yeah, I guess the alternative would be spending time and becoming. Really, it's about spending more time. Quality time with my family, right? Which will lead to becoming closer to my family. So it's actually spending more quality. That's the alternative to having a job, is spending more quality time with my family, right? So that came up a lot for me. So spending more quality time with my family will benefit my personal growth, because my husband and my mom and the rest of my family all have skills and talents that I can learn from and grow from. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy and replace all of them. This was, like I said, this was one of the most frequent viable alternatives to having a job, was to spend more quality time with my family, and from that, have an income value come out of it. Spending more quality time with my family will benefit my family, because we will work together to get stronger and more committed to our personal goals. Spending more quality time with my family will benefit my health and fitness, because I will feel mentally happy and fulfilled that I'm spending quality time with the people that I love most. That is true, right? Your mental health is extremely important, and most people, when they die, the only regret that they would have if they didn't spend as much time with their family, right? Okay, so I need to do at least 5 of these. So spending more quality time with my family, and I have to talk about how it will benefit my highest value. So will benefit my highest value family because I will be able to have stronger relationships with my extended family too. Spending more time with my family will benefit my family because I will spend more quality time with my husband, and we will be able to have more children. Okay? Spending time with the hubby to have a kid. Spending time will benefit my family because I will be able to keep harmony among family members by being available and present. Spending more quality time with it will benefit my personal growth and learning because I will learn how to make my family life the most fulfilling and because I learn how to make my family life the most fulfilling and create or grow healthy relationships with my children, husband, and spending more quality time with family will benefit my health and fitness because I will be able to go on more outdoor excursions with my mom and Jordan instead of staying in an office all day. Spending more quality time with my family will benefit my health and fitness because I will be able to take time to exercise on my own and not feel like I'm losing time with my family. I will be away from them as much. Spending more time with my family will benefit my personal growth and learning as I get to learn more about raising a child being as good a role model as I can be. Okay, so I've done my 5. So my 5 alternatives to working a job, right, and getting paid by other people is to be paid by dividends. That's the first one. Okay, to be paid by dividends. The second is to be paid by business income. The third is to get involved with my internet marketing community. I am involved with them. It's to get, like, because right now I'm not. I don't, talk to them on a personal level really much. Sometimes I do. I do more now. However, I'm not as involved as I could be. And there's a lot of stuff we do together that I could do more of, and that would benefit my business a lot and my personal life. I create my own schedule, right? Because when you don't work for someone else, you create your own schedule now, right? How is that important? Create my schedule, benefit my family, because we have more flexible on trips as well as going out. So I create my own schedule. And spending more quality time with my family. Okay, so spending more quality time with my family is the 5th alternative, because if I'm not working, I have more time to spend with my family. I can create my own schedule and get more involved with my internet marketing community, get paid by business income instead, and also paid by dividends. So I have these alternatives for the money, and then I have alternatives to what I'll do with my time and the people that I'll hang out with. Okay, so list how your bad habit, number 6, step 6, list how your bad habits are interfering with your 5 highest values. Okay. Okay. So having a job takes time away from my family. Having a job creates stress that tires me out and takes energy away from my health. Having a job fills my time with coffee and doing mindless work, memorizing processes that aren't useful except in my job, and that fill the space in my mind. And that space would be better used by learning new things from inspiration like Michael Beck and Cornwell and others. This is the truth. I mean, some of the things I do at my job are very menial. Having a job requires me to hang out with people that sometimes that aren't into health and fitness, and though I'm a good role model for them, I am not improving my health and fitness being there. There are always people asking me to eat junk food. We have so much junk food at the office, If I didn't go to the office, I wouldn't see all the junk food. It's just like that's the way they are. Having a job, so that's health and fitness, personal growth, interferes with my personal growth. Okay, having a job interferes with my personal growth and learning. And my time, copy and do my it's my time is often spent copying and doing my homework and my concentrate. Having a job takes away time from my family. That's an obvious one. Having a job creates just a choice that takes energy away from my health. Having a job creates stress that tires me out, and I'm too tired to spend time Having a job requires me to have people there. Okay. Having a job creates stress at times when I'm too tired to move it. Having a job creates stress that tires me out, and then I'm too tired to work on my personal growth, and then too tired to read books. Or do research. Having a job takes time away from going out in nature to exercise outside, which is what I would normally do to improve my health and fitness. Having a job takes time away from me helping my mom care healthy food and create my husband and myself. Having a job is to stagnate and snacks at my job are not usually healthy. Having a job the last one here. Keeps me from learning skills that I need to become a bigger leader, greater earning power, and a better business owner, thus inhibiting my personal growth and learning. Okay, so I've identified 10 reasons that having a job is interfering with my highest values, right? Takes time away from my family, increases stress, energy with my health, impacts my personal growth. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Or feeling it today. Having a job takes away my rest time, my sleep time. Because if Jordan had a rough time sleeping the night before, I don't have extra time to sleep and rest. Say if I have to go to the lack of flexibility makes it hard to keep up with my sleep That's really it. A lot more sweet. You know? Like last night, Jordan was like, I had to get up. I keep waking up and putting him back to sleep now. And honestly, I would rather, I would probably still do this hangout on time. However, then after this, I would probably take a nap and rest up and recover. However, because I have a job, I have to go to my job. So those are things that I think my job is interfering with my highest values. Maybe I'll do more later. Hey, that's pretty good though. Identify subdiction, something you want to avoid remembering that is really painful in your life. Okay, so some things that I want to avoid remembering that. And the reason you do this part is because you want to figure out why you do this bad habit. That's why you do it. And you always do this last. There's an order to this process, and the reason there's an order is because you have to do the new things first and then go to these things. Because if you go to these things first, you may not be able to get rid of your habit. You have to go through that whole process first and then get to this step. Okay, so number one, I used to be really poor and in fact, felt trapped in sharing money with people I didn't like in order to pay rent. Okay. I felt trapped into sharing money with people I didn't like in order to pay rent. I knew that making money was important if I want to live in a nicer place with the people that I do. And at the time, I was a student and the pay was so low. So I also worked a lot of hours, and so I was overworked and didn't have money to make my life situation better. That was not a nice time in my life. And I remember I got out of it. Oh yeah, and then I had a relationship with a guy that was not good for my mental or financial health. And I was often scared that we would not have a place to live because he was always getting us in trouble with the landlord, and so we would talk, and I wasn't able to get away until I got a job, and the money from the job allowed me to visit and find a nicer place to live independently. That's true. It was also the first time I had been to Hawaii, and I had been to in my own room. I wasn't even in my own house, but I had my own room in a house. So, that's true. You know, I was afraid I wouldn't have a place to live. I wouldn't be able to afford where I lived, and I needed to make money. I had work, and when I was working as a grad student, I had to live with these girls, and I didn't want to live with them. You know, after a while, I didn't want to live with them. And then this one friend comes along, and then they move out because they hate me. I kick them out. And then the boyfriend ended up not being so good because he was just always getting in fights with people. And then we would get kicked out of different places. It was not good. And then I was very stressed out about where I was gonna live all the time. Very stressed. I was all the time. I was so stressed out back then. So then, when I finally got a job, I was able to move, and that was a good thing, you know. Sorry for the yawn. Early. So then, sometimes you get extra tired when you're doing things like this because you're resisting the negativity or whatever. So anyway, that's an interesting one, right? So I was really scared, and the job actually helped me a lot, you know, because all I had to do was go there 40 hours a week and got paid way more than I got paid as a grad student where I worked so many hours. And then I could afford to have my own room, you know. I didn't have to share with people that I didn't like. In fact, I really liked my roommates. They had a daughter. She was so cute. So that really scared me a lot. I have to admit. Oh, what else? Not sure. When I was a kid, I always had a home, but I think that was a big deal. Okay, maybe after I graduated from college, moved to Taiwan, and I was often stressed out about where I stayed, and ended up sharing a bed with one lady who was me. That was stressful. And she didn't like my habits. And finally moved out and had my own room. I ended up sharing a bed and laying being stressors, and I finally got my own room. And I remember when it was a little pricey when I called the someone to help me pay for it. And that was a lot nicer. When I moved to Thailand, I found a place to live. However, they told me to move out shortly after I moved in because they wanted their daughter to have my room. So then I remember crying, and after speaking to people who were renting and didn't want to rent to me because I was eventually I ended up sharing a room. I keep saying ended up. Eventually I ended up sharing a room with my Indonesian classmate. She was very nice. However, she always used my stuff because, yes, that's the Indonesian way. I remember it finally being easier to find places to live when I joined my Kung Fu team, and they would help me find rooms or I would room with them. Yeah, that was an interesting time. I guess always I've had a lot of stress about where I'm going to live. I guess that's one of the big things in my life. Is where am I going to live? How am I going to afford to live here? Or can I even find a place that people maybe they don't like foreigners? So I guess these things make me want my job because it gives me because it gives me money, and then the money makes me feel stable, I guess, and so I don't feel like I have to worry or stress about where I'm going to live. Yeah, that makes sense because recently our landlord told us that they're going to sell the house, and I knew that if they sold it to someone and that person wanted to live here, we'd have to move out, and I was so stressed out about that because I was like, where are we going to live? And I actually got sick, physically very sick. I lost my hearing in one ear for a couple of weeks. That's how sick I got from the stress. Because I was like, oh my gosh, I have to find a new place to live. And then it was extremely stressful for me because it's really expensive here in Hawaii. And you need like $1 million. You need to spend $1 million more than that to live in this house that I live in. The people who bought it, they paid $1.25 million to buy this house. They don't live in it. They bought it as an investment, so they're letting us stay here. So I'm not as stressed anymore. However, I realize that even if they had us move out, I have to like calm down and not be so stressed out because it'll all work out in the end, you know? Where you live is important, and I realize that everything will work out for good, you know? Don't have to be so scared. It just hurts your health, you know, the stress. And I told my boss I might have to quit just because I might have to move, like, out of Hawaii. If I don't find a place that makes sense, I might have to leave. You know, so she knew I was stressed out about that too. Okay, I finished the exercise. Wow. All right, so now we'll see. Like, am I gonna take those actions that change my life? I'm so excited actually right now. I don't sound super excited. I've been doing this exercise for a long time, and so now that I'm finally done, this is the final steps. I finished it. I'm like, holy moly, hallelujah! I finished the exercise. I mean, I've been doing this literally for like 3 months at least. I don't know. Go back to my blog and you'll see almost every episode of Enjoy the Journey for the last 3 months has been about this exercise. I just went through each one and kept going and going, and I just encourage you to do it. I mean, I already feel like, well, you'll see. If you're watching, if you're on my email list, go to my blog if you're not on my email list. you just click the banner and then enter your email and get on. I always email everyone when I do these hangouts, and I always do personal growth development. Everything I do will help you, always propel you in the right direction toward your goals and dreams. And I'm always doing cutting edge stuff. However, I was like, this is such a long process, and now I can see if it works, right? Because after you do it, it's time to see how fast the changes can happen. And I heard that it can happen pretty fast, and we'll see, right? So I'm planning on doing a mastermind, a dividend mastermind. So I'm going to be organizing that, and then I'll be announcing that soon. So it's good to get on my mailing list to find out more about that. Or friend me on Facebook. My name is May, M-E-Y. Although to find me on Facebook, you need my long name, M-E-Y-L-Y-S-A. So it's better to catch me on my blog. It's easier to contact me. You can email me if you need to find me, and then I'll friend you. So anyway, thanks for joining me on this hangout. I so appreciate it. I hope you got value from this exercise that I've been doing forever. I got a lot of value doing it. I hope you did too. Follow along. If you need a buddy to do it, just go through it like with me, because I went through the whole thing on video, so you can just go through it like I did. And I would. It takes a while, however, it really does. We'll see, right? The real test is to see what happens to me, right? I'm the guinea pig, yeah. Anyway, see you next week Friday for an episode of CandidBlog.com. Real excited, always bringing great value so that you can become more successful in your golden dreams. And I can too, you know, win-win for everyone. Aloha from Hawaii. Have a wonderful Friday.